So we're in the sport mode here, going over the train tracks. That's where you can feel the leaf springs a little bit. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Chevy Silverado 1500 RST with the Z71 package. I know it's a lot, but anyways, a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with this new 2022 Silverado. Check out the inventory link below. Let's get into the video. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 5.3 liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 15 around town and then 20 on the highway, with power outputs being 355 horsepower and then 383 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the RST. So first off, you guys will notice we still have the traditional Chevy hood. We've got the Z71 logo there off to the side. We have the LED reflector lights here with the accent light just down below them. And then also have the accenting here off to the side. And then notice how this is all body painted with the blacked out Chevy bow tie, and then the rest of the grille is kind of blacked out body painted front bumper. Got the tow hooks with the fog light integrated right there. And then we have the air dam at the very bottom. And other than that, that is the front end. Sorry about my shadow, but there, that helps kind of. Now coming on the side here, we've got two 75mm tires wrapped on 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you can see here with the design on the wheel itself how you have the dark metallic gray there in the center with the silver that kind of goes and loops all around. And then since this is a Z71 truck, notice we got the more aggressive tires. And then there's a quick look at the suspension right there. And then you can see with the mirror, it's blacked out here on the top, and then also around the window frame, that is also all blacked out. And then you can see the full side view here with the truck. And then popping here to the rear, that's how we have the little kind of like mud flap situation there. It's also in the front. And then you can see the leaf springs here in the back. And then also you can see the shock there for the Z71 package as well. So here is our key fob for the truck. If we actually press that twice, that'll lower down the tailgate, and we can go over the payload, 1,806 pounds, and then a towing capacity of 9,500 pounds. And then you can see the rest of the functions on the key fob, remote start, and then the lock and unlock, and the Chevy bow tie there in the back. But popping here to the bed area, notice that we've got the protection here on the bed already from the factory. And then we have the lights here. We have an outlet on the other side, and then more light action. And then you guys can see the Chevy bow tie there. And then you can see the cargo light at the top. And yeah, that's pretty much everything for the bed. Sorry about the lighting there. And then if you're wondering, this doesn't have the raise function. You do have to raise it yourself. And it'll actually denote that on the key fob, because look, it just shows the lowering. Now finishing things here in the rear of the RST, notice that you've got the RST logo there with the Silverado badge. We still have the signature Silverado taillights here with the Chevrolet logo stamped into the bed. We have the bumper steps, and then notice we've got the square wedges over the exhaust tips, and then you've got the receiver hitch there at the very bottom. And yeah, that's all for the back. Now here's the door panel in the rear. So notice we've got all of the soft touch here with the stitching, and then you've got the wood trim, and then we have the traditional Silverado door handle. And then here are the seats in the back. So again, we've got the nice padding all over, and then you can see you can open that up for some extra storage. And then they've got the stitching here off to the side. Got the mats down below, got the cup holders, and then got the USBs and the 12-volt, all that fun stuff. And then I'll quickly pop in. It's actually pretty easy to get in, but I still would recommend side steps. There's the legroom. There is headroom, and then you guys can see, well, gosh, gotta muscle this down. Cup holder armrest. Let's head to the front. Now here's the door panel at the front. So again, we've got all the padding and stitching all over, and then the wood trim just down below. Got our window controls right here with the mirror adjustments, and then you can see the door lock and unlock above, and then there's a quick look at the mirror. Bose sound system, and then you got the Z71 logo right there on the floor mat. And then here are the seats at the front. So again, we've got that same situation with that you have in the rear, again with the stitching and all that. You got your adjustments on the side of the seat, pedals down below. Got your parking brake right here. This is for the lights. And then you can see you've got the fog lights, the cargo light, the drive line select over here, and then the drive mode select with the tow mode. And then the steering wheel, if you're wondering, is manually adjustable. There's one more look before we pop in. So here's our steering wheel in the RST. Notice that we've got the leather all around. Got your voice command, phone controls, and then you have controls for the center stack, your blacked out Chevy bow tie there in the center, heated steering wheel button, and then that is for the cruise control. There are radio controls on the back. Got your turn signal, windshield wiper stalk, And then we've got the column shifter here where you can manually shift with that 8-speed automatic if you want. And then, yeah, that's all for the steering wheel. Now here's the center gauge cluster. We've got mostly analog gauges all around that gives you different bits of information on the truck. And then we do have that screen there in the center, which we can scroll through to see different bits of information on the truck. This is in demo mode, obviously, so not as much as we can see once you unlock it all. But the other thing to go over is the tow mode. You can see that pops over the trailer. And then we've got the drive modes, normal, sport, and then off-road as well. Now here is the center infotainment system. First off, I'm going to pop it into reverse. We got a backup camera with trajectory lines. They do turn with the steering wheel, and that's just for a trailer, so it just shows a straight line, which is definitely nice. And then aside from that, as for the rest of the infotainment system, response time's great, has Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, got the climate controls that you can use as well, and yeah, that's all for that. So we've got analog controls here for the infotainment system and radio, and then the climate controls. This does have a dual zone climate. We've got heated seats here for the front. And then sorry about the lighting, but anyways, hill descent control, auto stop start, we got that to drop down the tailgate, hazard lights, we've got the stability control, and that's for the outlets, and then we've got our trailer brake control right next to it, and then we've got our charging area, and you can see we've got some extra storage space right there, and then some cup holders, and then we have the center console right here, and then opening this up, you guys can see storage space in there with some USBs, and then an auxiliary, and then notice the padding here, and then we still have the dual glove box as well. So that is all fun and dandy. And then finishing things up here, we do have a power sliding window. No sunroof or anything like that. We do have universal garage door openers. And then this does have a manual mirror dimmer. So there's quite a bit of glare, so it's kind of hard to see the window sticker itself. But anyways, after all the packages this particular truck has, it stickers for $56,235. And wait for it. Wait for it. Let's take it out and see how it drives. Well, let's go over visibility before we set off. There's your visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors, throughout the rest of the rear, and let's set off. So we're setting off here in the RST 1500. First off, let's talk about the road noise and the ride quality. So from a ride quality perspective, truck's actually really smooth, especially for a truck that still has leaf springs. It does a really good job. Road noise is pretty minimal as well. So just, it feels nice, and that's something that you get across the whole Silverado lineup. Whether you get a base model truck or something as loaded as a high country, they all pretty much drive about the same from a ride quality perspective, and they're all just as insulated as well from the outside world, which is great. Getting up a little bit, yeah, acceleration is pretty good as well, so that's definitely solid. And so yeah, that's great. Seats, they are definitely very supportive. And the thing that's interesting is because of this material, it's really easy to clean off, but you kind of slide all over the place a little bit. I'm big enough that like I don't move, but like if someone's narrower than me, then I could see them kind of sliding a little bit over the seats. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, that's kind of like the initial stuff here with the RST. So we're in the sport mode here, going over the train tracks. It's where you can feel the leaf springs a little bit. Yeah, the 5.3 does a pretty good job. I just drove a Z71 Tahoe before this that has a 6.2, and you can definitely feel a difference between the two vehicles, the 5.3 versus the 6.2 with the acceleration. The 5.3, like I said, it's good. It's just not the 6.2. And the 8-speed automatic doesn't seem like it's as smooth or as quick as the 10-speed automatic as well, but it's still a good transmission, so not going to knock it too hard for that. Let's get into setting things up here at this RST package and with this truck overall. So first off, exterior wise, I think the RST looks great. It's got that cool sporty look to it, so I think that is solid. Interior wise, really easy to clean seats. It's cool, you have heated seats. And this is an interesting segment. So like this segment of truck usually has cloth seats. This has the vinyl seats, which I think is a big upgrade because again, they're a lot easier to clean than cloth seats, and they look a little bit nicer as well. Should feel like you're getting more bang for your buck. And then driving wise, drives great. It's comfortable, it's quiet, it does all the stuff you need to do, and acceleration is pretty solid as well. And I know some of you might be confused because you're like, wait, isn't there supposed to be more changes for 22? That is correct. However, Chevy is going to be selling the previous version of the Silverado for the 2022 model year alongside the new version. So this is called the LTD version, limited. And it's basically the old version of the truck being sold right now until they get the new ones rolling out in higher volume. And so as for a score though, I would say everything considered, for this segment, I give this an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's a really good value, and I think you're getting a lot, and once Chevy unrolls the new changes, I think it'll increase the score. But I think the RST overall, in this segment of truck, because of the seats you get and everything, and because of the aesthetics and the price point it's at, I think it's just a really good value. That's gonna sum things up for a video on this 2022 Chevy Silverado 1500 RST with the Z71 package. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with the truck. Check out their inventory link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.